Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your daily tarot and oracle, your daily insight on life and love for December 2nd, 2021, also being timeless. So wherever you're catching in time, this could be incredibly relevant, horribly irrelevant, or just plain bizarre, maybe entertaining. I'm not quite sure. There's like a whole spectrum this could be on for you. But if you do choose to stay around, if I've enticed you that much with this already, then hopefully this is a good message for you. If it provides some sort of challenge, let's see what's at the end of it. Let's see why this is happening. And if it is a great message, well, awesome. But also if you have questions about booking a session, because your individual storyline will always be more detailed, in-depth, and intense, go ahead and reach out in the provided email address. But you're getting out of emotional purgatory right now. You're cutting yourself out of this stagnant place. So what do you need to know? What is bringing you here? I love this. The cards have actually been really wonderful recently. I feel like a lot of you are having reason to celebrate. There's these really awesome new relationships that are coming underway. It seems like people have finished a cycle, and it looks like now it is a major time for everything to just kind of come together, which, shut the heck up and surrender. All right. I know that some things are, really good, but it does mean that it's too good to be true. So what we are seeing with this, all right. You don't feel like you deserve it. Why do you feel like you have to sacrifice yourself so much in this life? You have to be very careful with your words right now and what you say about yourself and what you call into experience right now. I'm really urging you to sit there and really start to see yourself in a new light. You are more than capable. You are a thriving person. You've overcome a lot of challenges. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of the best in life. And I really want you to start seeing that. I want to know why the Queen of Pentacles is reversed with you. Why do you feel like you are just not good, like not worthy of the best love? Okay. I'm going to give you crap, right? Like, this looks amazing. So you feel like you don't deserve it because we have the Two of Cups here. Why does everything have to be such a challenge? Why does it have to be a fight? Why does it have to always be so dramatic in the form of just, struggle? Not everything has to be a struggle. You don't have to fight to live. You don't have to fight to be loved. You don't have to fight anymore. This is about you and finding yourself and finding your balance again. What you have put out, you have stopped the flow and the kickback to you. So why is everything happening so much in a positive sense to you now while you're either reading this or while you're coming across this or as this is coming in? You have ended a really crazed cycle. I don't know exactly what your storyline is, but it looks like you had to leave a lot behind and you're afraid to open up to even more. So I think that whatever this was in the back, like what you have experienced, whatever it is that you had left behind, you have taken a token of that with you. I don't think that that is bad. I think that this is actually something that you don't even need to defend keeping with you. You have a guilt of bringing something of the past with you because you are ready to move on, but you're not ready to forget. Nobody is telling you that you need to forget your life and what has occurred in it. This is going to be something that becomes part of you. It's already part of you. You have to be, you have got to let go of this anxiety that just because, you have a new start in life, it negates the past that happened. It's really what got you to this point, being ready for this new phase anyways. You are at a rebirth. You've got to be more gentle with yourself. That's like, God, a child being born. And as soon as he comes into he or she, or whatever, I do not care, whenever they come into the world and, you know, they come in kicking, screaming, crying, silent, whatever the case, whoever is around it bringing this energy into the world is somehow punishing it just because it came into the world and it made a noise. This is not your story. You're not going to be punished. I know that you've been through a lot with this. I know that it's about even dreading and dreaming of the future, because everything and anything that you would have done was almost considered like, all right, so I gave you this, now I'm going to give you that. Like, it doesn't always have to be a tally check marks with each other. You don't owe anyone anything. You owe nothing. How unimaginable is it that you have a clean slate that you actually get to design on now? When things come too easy to you, that's when your walls go up. And right now, something is very easily coming to you, and it's very soulful and heartfelt. You don't know what to do with that. You don't get to fall asleep. You don't get to backtrack into the familiar numbness. The karmic lesson, I want to look into that. The karmic lesson is, you are never going to be perfect. You are never going to be good enough for everyone and everything. You are good enough, and you are great and thriving and amazing in yourself, and you have nothing that you need to make up for anyone. If you live to be a fulfillment to whoever else, you're never going to stop, you know, this idea of perfection that doesn't exist. You are constantly in the state of working on yourself, but it's working on yourself, for the betterment and evolution of yourself, not for somebody's idealistic version of perfect that doesn't exist. I know that's like talking in circles, but what it's meant to do is it's meant to actually give you a voice. It's meant to give you a sense of, what do I want to say with this? It's to give you a sense of purpose. It's to give you a sense of looking what's in your cup and see if this is something that you want to empty out or place on hold. And I feel like you had put your cup on hold for quite some time for whoever this was that you felt that you needed to learn from. Yes. The entire past that you were learning from, you put your future on hold for it because you always felt like there was more to learn, there was more to gain. Ay. And they're all looking up at you as if you have the answers. And it's so funny because both parties, or all three parties, whoever is involved in this, you're not looking at yourselves, you're looking at each other for all the answers when everything is actually inside of you. But you guys have actually stepped up to the plate as an opportunity to be some sort of a surrogate lesson for each other, or a surrogate talisman for each other. It's like the other one had all the answers. No, they didn't. They were looking at you for the answers, vice versa. That was the endless cycle. Thank God it stopped. Good God, that was exhausting. Oy vey. I can't even, you know, I want to give you crap, but I can't give you crap because, man, do we know what those cycles are like. All right, so we have dream big. Ooh. Watch your thoughts. I already told you that. Watch your thoughts. Be very, very careful of what you're speaking into existence right now. If you're looking at heartache, if you're looking at hardship, if you're looking at hard anything, know that this is going to prevent itself. Don't let your mind go into the gutter with that one. So have faith. I want you to do something that is not necessarily impulsive, inspirational, inspired action, and something that is really just springing with your gut on this. Take a leap onto that, make it big, make it so noticeable that there's no way that this could have been anything outside of a miracle. Take a leap onto that and watch how your faith and your hope in it is validated, and it's solidified, and it is actualized. Your confidence in this is going to determine the success of it, which also, yeah, is subjective. Success beyond your imagination, you watching this, not anyone else's. I don't give a crap what the neighbor says about it. I don't give, doesn't matter. This is about you. So, where are we going with this? Okay. Tell me more, tell me more. God, I hate that movie. I hate the movie Grace. I hated that for years. Like, okay, that is one of the most overrated ones because this chick changed herself and all of herself to impress a guy. I'm sorry, getting off the soapbox. All right, anyways, yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, spirit, and spiritual growth right now. It is a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I'm watching over you, guiding and protecting you during these changes. You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine mission. So let's talk about your purpose right now. So let's spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels for help for you to gain a positive perspective. Okay, so this is about some form of love, maybe not romantic, but love of life. And what I'm seeing for you is the course and change in direction. It is speaking about either your awakening, your new path that has been found, and actually getting through the hurdles. This is talking about, how earlier we were talking, these vicious cycles, thinking that anyone else had all the answers. All the answers are lying inside of yourself, and what you have is a story to tell. And you are here to be a teacher of sorts, maybe not a classical teacher, maybe not even a defined teacher, but what you have to say and what you have to teach through your wisdom, through your experience, through your persistence in life is going to be something that gets you through not only the hurdles, but it's actually an activation for others who are going to follow in your wake. You had the 6 of Wands. This is about watchful eyes. It's about success. It's about being noted by the public in whatever the form is, but it's in a positive sense, so don't let it freak you out. I guess what I want to say with this is today, in the last few days, private readings, collective readings, it's been apparent that a lot of people have been coming to terms with their own faults in life. I mean, we've been traumatized by others, we've been exposed and exploited by others, but we also, being human in ourselves, do not have this perfection embodied in us. So understanding that you do have a story, you do come with a story, you are not perfect. There's been some form of life that has been at the detriment of you, at a disservice of you. There are stories that you know about yourself, that you tell about yourselves, that do not paint you in what you would call a favorable light. Yes, you may have hurt people in the past. Yes, you may have done the not so moral thing. I don't know if that cut out or not. However, I need to plug you in. Crap. Where is it? I can do this. I can do this. I believe in myself. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. So, listen, it is so awesome how quickly you are to just bring the hammer down on yourself. Great. Stop it. No, you don't need to hide. With you stepping into whatever your role is in life, whatever has you, working with either humanitarian work, working with the masses, working in a place where people have to see you, and that it gives you a reputation, a higher reputation. Don't let that scare you. You're going to be worried about the stories that you tell about yourselves that you think that others are going to tell about you or that they could tell about you. Yeah, you've hurt people in life. You have done the wrong thing in life, whether or not anybody was looking. You have skeletons in your closet. You have done things that were not okay. You are still human. You got to give yourself some grace with that. I know that you think that your story and what you have done is something that is either unforgivable. How can anybody do this? But I want you to know that whatever you have done in life, whatever you have affected people with, there has always been something worse. You can always compare it to something worse. You don't need to, though, because it's not going to help you. You don't need to deflect like that. It's time that you pick all of your skeletons out of your closet, Look at the stories that you tell about yourself, whether it's deflection or ownership of it. Look at the stories that you tell about yourself. There's nothing that you need to be ashamed of. There's nothing that you need to be afraid of. All of those are put in place in front of you as a hurdle so that you keep yourself in the familiar zone that does not provide growth and the actuality of it. But your higher self, your soul, knows that you are here for a higher purpose. So what do you think that that's going to do to the stories that you tell about yourself or what anybody could say about you? It's not going to do anything. It's not going to allow yourself to hold yourself back. What you've been probably experiencing for the last few days, either getting quiet or having these heavy emotions, it's to relieve yourself of those stories. Pull them out from inside, place them in front of you, and start to pick them apart. I want you to look at everything that has transpired in your life to whatever degree, and I want you to really own your story because it is your story. You are not the story. These are aspects of you that are part of the story, and there's going to be even more things that come along in your life that are going to be part of your story, but you are not just the story. There's so much more to you. Does this make sense? Whatever you own about yourself, there's nothing that can be held against you. It gets rid of that hurdle in front of you. It gets rid of that hurdle that prevents you from doing that work that you came here to do. It gets rid of this insecurity. It gets rid of this inferiority. Whatever you speak about yourself and what you hold yourself accountable for and what you own in your life is also what your keys to freedom are. And it's not that you're judging anyone else, but you're also not going to be so quick to judge yourself, which in the beginning of this reading, you know that I called you out on it. So what I'm seeing here is it's going to take a minute because you know what? It took you a while to get here. So you can imagine it's going to take a minute. You're going to be getting into a quiet space, either internally or in your environment. And I want you to actually just sit with yourself and watch the stories that come up in due time. They're going to come up in a mismatched yet appropriate manner. I don't want you to not look at these because you don't know how to handle it or because you are afraid to look at it and what this would mean about you. Look at this through the eyes of unconditional love. There is nothing that you are putting out in front of you that you can change from the past and that you need to be ashamed of. All of this is seeing what you have learned from it. How did this mold you as a person to get to this point? And based off of your experience and what you have learned from this, what do you want to do with the future of this path of yours? And it should be something that is unfolding and that is enlarging and that is actually elevating on ascension levels. So I want you to know the only place to go from here is honestly up, which again, that is subjective, but it is definitely up for you. I don't want you to think that that's a bad thing. It actually should give this idea of stop comparing to other people's paths because yours is very important and unlike anyone else's. So if you, when you do this work for yourself, the high priestess is upright again. This high priestess is standing in their truth, allowing the flow of abundance to them. They have all the knowledge in their hands. They are not denying it. They are educated from it. And they are sitting on their throne. It does seem like holy intervention with this, with the pomegranates in the back. It seems like a very holy fruit with that. And also I see that this is something that has been coming up for lifetimes. And it is also about balance. You are really making magic happen. All right. I know that it's going to be scary for you to do this, but honestly, the situation is going to de-escalate. And I want you to not hold yourself back. And I know that that's going to be something that you mindfully have to keep reminding yourself of. But you're getting out of a karmic situation by just even cracking the door on this and putting your foot in the door. Spirit has a real true gift for you, and it's the gift of freedom of karma. There's no more karmic debt for you. Then we have, it looks like you are very lucky to be doing this at this time. Any other time, I don't think that you would have handled it so well. But what I'm seeing here is You are here for a major divine purpose, unlike anyone else's. You don't have time to be embarrassed about your story or shy away from it. You're ready to take on the world and all the challenges that it could provide, bapping them away with all these newfound senses of self and tools and empowerment. And also, you are more equipped than you know. All of this is going to gain momentum the moment you crack the door open, and I think that that is the scariest part. When you crack the door open on this, that is when Spirit acknowledges that you have crossed the finish line and gives you the gift. I think that you'll be surprised by how quiet it is, because you're waiting for everything to be in an uproar, and that's also where the hesitance is. You don't think that you can handle the chaos that would ensue. It's going to be almost anticlimactically quiet. All right, let's see. You have a lot that you need to be honest with about yourself. Your freedom depends on how transparent you can be about this. Do whatever it takes to get it out. Write it out, sing it out, jump it out, whatever this takes for you. But this is the calling of a chapter. All right. You're not going to be deserted. And actually, you're also not going to be emotionally cut off either. Isn't that surprising? I think that others are going to come forward, not only with their own story to take the edge off, but also to support you. Because believe it or not, as much as you would like to hate yourself and dumb yourself down, you are worth so much love and support, and it's coming in. All right, it's time for you to cut through the BS. You're incredibly amazing and lucky to be doing this now. I'm very proud of you. This has been the Daily Tarot and Oracle, the daily insight on life and love for December 2nd, 2021, also being timeless. If you do have questions about booking a session, go ahead and reach out in the provided email address or find me on social platforms and send me a DM. See what services might be right for you. Ask about sales, ask about pricing, ask about time zones, ask about availability. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that this finds you well. I'll talk to you all soon. Stay safe, have fun. Bye. Take 2. All right, so if you found your way across this, chances are you need a mini message. Listen with an open heart and an open mind. We got a little bit of a power struggle going on. Looks like somebody's looking for freedom, and it's lacking judgment right now. It's a lesson that doesn't need to be learned. All right. Let's talk honesty, boundaries, and jumping into the unknown. Oh. What the heck? Come on. Listen. Something happening too fast? This is sabotage on some level. Sabotage because somebody is freaking out. Listen, it's not a power struggle. It doesn't need to be a power struggle. Something is being overthought and tried to control. You feel like this is the way it's got to be. There's only one option. Sorry. No. This is something that is very fulfilling for you. And it looks like it came in rather fast. So it's something that you are afraid of boiling over. This power struggle doesn't need to happen, yet this is something that is being fulfilled nonetheless. We have judgment in reverse. Why do you keep having to learn the same lesson? Why do you keep doing this to yourself? You don't need to be miserable. You don't need to be stuck. None of this, just because it's familiar, none of this has to be the path for you. The path of familiarity is long gone. And I do feel like you are creating a new way. It's happening faster than I think you could have ever expected. And this is because, well, you're stubborn. And you dragged your keister. It's time to pick up the pace. You have somewhere to be. Your guests are awaiting you. All right, that's really filling you with anxiety. You're afraid of, I guess, either matching up timelines with other people, or you're afraid of actually having fulfillment. So what's this? Hold on, what's this? The responsibility of it. Listen, you don't have to do it like this. You can write your own rules for this. Life is trying to give you a cup. You've ended a very, very painful cycle in your life, and now here's the opportunity for some growth, but you have to move on from the past. So that's what I'm seeing here. It's a point of surrender with you. this is going to be good, but you're also freaking out because what does it mean if you move on from your past? What does it mean if you actually have success in this? If you allow yourself to be happy? Surrender to this. You're ready to let go of it. It's going to be something that you learn. Take 3. I was almost done recording. Major interruption. Totally lost the vibe of it. I'm aggravated, but I'm calling back the energy. So here we are. Incredibly frustrated, but we're gonna get this out because you know what? I'm stubborn AF. We're gonna do this. What do you need to know? This is what I was looking at before. Almost got the entire message out. Look, if you found your way across this, you need to hear it. This is involving healing. It's truth. It's honesty. It's coming in from afar, which I think is coming along with the eggshells that you walk on because you're not certain of it. And it seems like you need more information. It's very charming. It's very beautiful. It's flowy even. And it's led by what seems to be Sacral Chakra energy. I feel like there is huge sensitivities that are being brought to the surface, but it's to what seems to be igniting some sort of, it seems like something needs to come out. Something deep that has been tucked away with you needs to come out. And I think this is an emotional grip that you are trying to get without having some sort of eruption in your life. The situation is taking a turn so fast, and it is riddled with what seems to be a challenge with you, but I don't see you walking away from it. I see that you are surrendering to whatever this is. There's some sort of offer that is being given, and it does feel like it is a personal offer. It feels very emotional, but I also see that this isn't something that you're fully willing to look at yet because it looks like you are hanging on and reflecting on karmic situations. You are closed off. You've gotten out of the hangman position. The cup that is being given to you, you're not seeing as full. You're seeing it as empty, which is why I think that you really need to look at it because there is more information that needs to come through with it. That is the only place where you are holding yourself back because you feel like all eyes are on you. This does lead to success. It does lead to victory. It does lead to fulfillment. But I also see that this is going to actually not pave the way, but actually, God, open a lot of doors with this. Whoever is watching this, it's going to lead to a door being opened. And then we have all you need is that little inch of the door opening up before all of this kicks it all open, and it's something that happens very fast. Communication is going to be happening at a very fast pace, and also I think that once you see that something is possible, it's going to light that passionate fire that is just really going to get the momentum going even more fast. You can't hold yourself back from this once this opens, and I think that you know that. Once this is open, you are all in. If you found your way across this, chances are you need a mini message. So listen with an open heart and an open mind. I'm being pulled to the daily messages from your angels. All right, so this was attached to the bottom. It came out with it. I want to put it back, but then I don't feel like I should put it back. So this is talking about you. It's okay to take your time and not worry about this getting screwed up. Whatever new venture you're on, whether it's personal connections or some sort of life ambition, slow and steady is going to win the race on this. And there's really nothing that you need to keep an eye out for. I think it's just creating a really solid foundation. So what do you desire right now? You have to start visualizing it because it's coming to fruition. I think that whatever you're putting your mind on right now is creating these seeds that are going to materialize with it. Very intentional time for you. So the angel of abundance, you'll receive money that you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. What I'm feeling with that is it's definitely what I have learned with, coaching and laws of attraction. Whatever resources you are looking for, they're going to be readily available to you. The thing is getting in line with where they are at. So there's no sense of shortage with it. It's just wherever it's coming from, that's where you need to tap into. So it's also looking at all of your resources. I know how woozy that can sound, like, I don't know, almost stuck in an idealistic way. No. It's realizing that you have to tap into the right resource. And how are we going to do that? So let's see, I'm helping you with physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. So what this is talking about for me in this set, this little mini read is the hurdle. There is a hurdle in what is blocking the flow of abundance to you in this. And it's how committed you are. Commitments. What are you afraid of with commitments? You have learned through recognizing patterns at a very early age and so dedicatedly that if something seems to upset, you need to get out before it gets too hot. So this is talking about you're starting to see those little mini red flags again, or something that is triggering that visual in you, and you want to run. But something inside of you is saying, no, hang on, this is good. This is something, there's something very real here. You're on the right path with this. Stay focused. It's leading you to, I think, this untapped resource, not of either financial abundance, material abundance, emotional abundance. It is on the correct path. But the hurdle that you have to overcome is not running away from this path or this commitment that you've made in it. As soon as you start to see something that is a challenge, you are overcoming the challenges and pushing through it and really asserting yourself. It's about really establishing your own identity with this. If you found your way across this, chances are you need a mini message. Listen with an open heart and an open mind. Rider-Waite. Well, it's like this. So something that you kind of need to not try and pull one over on. There's no power struggle right now. It looks like there doesn't need to be a power struggle, but there's defensiveness. There's this need for, I guess, sticking up for what you believe, and something that you haven't gotten closure of an emotional situation with a loved one from the past. So somebody from the past is getting closure. I think that you're not going to water those seeds anymore, and it looks like you're moving towards a lover's energy and coming into some form of an agreement, connection, something's getting established. I don't think that you anticipated the outcome of whatever this scenario is with this person in your life, whether it's romantic or just plain an intimate type of person in your life. I don't think that you were prepared for it to come out this way. And I see that you haven't gotten closure on that chapter. And it looks like in here, it looks like that's something that you are defensive about, like you have to stand up for it. It doesn't mean that it meant nothing. It doesn't mean that this end that is coming to an end in your I guess your life, it doesn't mean that it was all for nothing and it didn't mean anything. It just means that there's nothing more that can be gained from that scenario, that situation, that type of connection. You've gotten everything that you needed from it. So we have the Four of Wands, which is a really great card to have when it is after the Lovers. I feel like there's something of a celebration and commitment that is coming into play. But you have to see exactly where you're bleeding out in life, either emotionally, mentally, materialistically. You got to pull in your resources. Something didn't take root, and you got to stop feeding into it. And I think that's really hard to look at. I think that's really hard to admit to ourselves. Where is this not going to go? So final card for this. You have to make a choice. You have to decide when is enough, and when can you start to pull yourself back and feel yourself come and, I guess, be whole again. This is going to be a two-parter. So you have your choice. You have to make a choice. You're afraid of making that choice. This just flipped over as I was going to grab the other cards. Okay. So you know that you have a very tough decision that you have to make, and you have to do this for yourself. You can't do this for any future scenario. You can't do this as something for the past. This has to be very selfish for you. Stop thinking about how this is going to affect everyone and everything. What do you want? You have a lot of healing that needs to be done, and you need to be able to depend on something to do it. I mean, what are you going to be able to depend on? I feel like something is coming in charging towards you, and it has, I think, the most secure wand in this entire thing. It's not a euphemism, shush. But I also want you to know that this is something that is coming in to, I guess, knock you off your feet. It's not bad. And it doesn't feel like you're being rescued. It feels like you are... Okay, so there's pyramids in the back. So despite this looking like it's going to be something of just learning how to survive in this, you have to understand that this has been lifetimes coming. Whatever this safe sweeping off your feet is, this has been coming in for lifetimes. And I feel like this is something that you can genuinely depend on. Something is coming in for you. It's very compassionate, emotionally gifted even, and it feels very secure, and it looks like it is deeply analytical. Look at how this energy is looking into this. It's like, I'm watching you. I know you're about to do something. So we have the Hermit card. Whatever this is that's sweeping you off your feet, situational or personal, I want you to know that this is catalyzing a huge healing and awakening. I think that you're stepping in to a massive awakening in your life. And I think that's why you're hesitant with the Ten of Cups in reverse, because you know that you can't turn back. This is wise. You've been gathering up all these experiences in your life, and now it's time to acknowledge them, see them for where they are, and actually infuse them into your awakening. What can this do for you and your future? It's actually going to be very divinely guided and bright. So you're getting yourself out of the hangman position. You're no longer going to feel that sense of numbness. I feel like you will be connecting. So that makes an awesome message. If you found your way across this, chances are you need a mini message. Listen with an open heart and open mind. Emperor, Taurus energy with this. But also, if this is not a time frame or a person, then this is about you being bullheaded, getting your security, and understanding that you're more experienced than people understand, and that you're not going to be swayed in one particular direction. You are going to grab the reins on this. And I think that things are really going to start to settle down. We have the Sacral Chakra, which I want you to pay very close attention to what your sensitivities, your sensitive spidey senses are telling you. I know how ridiculous it sounds, but really that's what it's boiling down to. You have a very watchful eye, keeping this eye on everything that is around you. Your suspicions are trying to tell you something. What the heck are they trying to tell you? That you are too, you've had this happen too much to let this slide again. Okay, it looks like you are dealing with some sort of manipulation in your life, something that feels like it is not secure. All right, so somebody is dealing with an insecurity around you, and it's Queen of Cups, and we have this. Somebody is incredibly overburdened and probably on the fritz. This might be you. This might be a trigger point with you where you want to be firm, you want to be established, you want to put everything that you know into action. However, there's an insecurity and burnout that is happening with you. Some sort of new cup is being offered. So there's a new situation that is coming into play with you. And it looks like Lovers is in reverse, and we have the Ten of Cups upright. So it looks like whatever it is, it doesn't feel like there's a choice. It doesn't look like it's seeing eye to eye right now. And it has the promised land written all over it. So look, it looks like this connection is at odds because somebody is insecure and they are overthinking it. They're overanalyzing it, but they're surrendering to it, even though they seem to be completely at odds with each other. There's a huge silver lining. Somebody is putting their money where their mouth is. That is a fine a flippantly thing. And it feels like there's victory. There's something that's coming out on top, but there also needs to be something that is left behind. I don't know if this is you or somebody else in your life, But it looks like somebody is putting their money where their mouth is. They're claiming victory. They have made the choices for moving forward, and they are using the tools to let go of the past. This is a massive change that is coming underway. And I think that that's where the silver lining is, because letting go of the swords, you get to cut away the past. And also with this, it seems like it's not something that you need to try and get away with. There's no deception that needs to be done here. There's transparency all over this. So I feel like the anxiety is coming from the fact that maybe you're looking for something that doesn't exist.